Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat, Prabhu. Prabhuji, can you has Radha Pramod Prabhu joined? Yeah, Radha Pramod Prabhu has joined. Prabhu, can you make him also the host, co-host, because he'll be sharing the first presentation, short
Yes,
presentation.
Prabhuji. Done.
Okay. Namam Vishnupadaaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much for joining today's session. So today we'll be continuing our discussion from the 6th chapter of Harinaam Chintamai, and hopefully we'll, after completing it, we will start the 7th chapter also and cover some portions from that. So, but before that, I would like to request His Grace Radha Pramod Prabhu to share his presentation of whatever we discussed last week. He will do a very nice, the mind map presentation. So over to you, bro. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So this is the third offense that we are discussing, and here, before telling the offense, the importance of taking shelter of Guru was discussed by Hardas Thakur. So he is explaining how it is very important. Of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes his explanation. Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jignasa Shrayottamam Shabde Paricha Nishnatam Brahmani Upasamashrayam. So 4 criteria he gives that one should surrender to Guru who is skillful, Nishnatam, in understanding the meaning of scriptures, Shabde. So then one should capable to realize the Lord, he is pare. Of course, if he is able to understand the scriptures, if he does not have this quality, the faith of the disciple will become weak, since he will not be able to destroy the doubts of the disappointed disciple. And another thing is, if he is capable to realize the Lord, then he will be able to access the mercy. So mercy will, otherwise it will not bear the results. Another 2 qualification, he should be fixed in realization of God, and he should not come under the control of anger and greed. Now the question is, what is Diksha? So Diksha is written, a person expert in the revealed scriptures will understand it as it is a process by which one will awaken his transcendental knowledge. Another is which vanquishes all the reactions caused by sinful activity. So this is what is Diksha meant by. This is what a person understands. So D is Divya Gyan, Ksha means which is removing all our unwanted things. So now, is Diksha compulsory? Can't I progress in Bhakti without Diksha? So this is another question raised. And in Madhya Lila, there is a shloka also which says that one need not undergo initiation, one just have to chant the holy name and attain perfection and devotional life. Now this shloka is meant to prove the greatness of the holy name. So it is actually is explaining how the holy name of Lord is so powerful that it does not depend on any official initiation. So this is meant to glorify the holy name. But why it is important for us? So of course we had a discussion how a holy name is there, not, it is not dependent, but uh, it is supporting actually all these processes. So but if one is initiated and engaged in the Pancharatra Vidhi, is Krishna conscious awakens soon, and his identification with material world will be vanquished. So this is what happens when one takes initiation. And then what happens eventually, the more one is free from material identification, the more one can realize that the spirit soul qualitatively as good as the Supreme Lord. And when one is situated on the absolute platform, one will understand that the holy name and Lord are identical. So he will realize the holy name by the process of initiation. That's why by doing all this Pancharatra, it is supporting to realize the holy name, which is what is the purpose of life. So eventually, one should worship and chant the holy name of Lord by accepting it as Lord Himself. And then what happens if one accepts? If one does not do, and he takes a material holy name as material sound Vaishnav, he falls. So therefore, one should be properly initiated according to the revealed scriptures under the direction of bona fide spiritual master. So this is one reason that is given why we should need holy name is sufficient. Still, we need to go through this vidhi so that we'll come out of our bodily conception of life and understand the holy name is not different from the Lord, and then we'll be able to chant. Now, another explanation that is given why we should take the importance of Guru is explained in another two different angles. So here it is said how human body is very rare. This is the shloka from Bhagavatam. It is compared to a well-constructed boat. As a boat needs a captain, so similarly we need a Guru. And another shloka tells from the scriptures, according to accepting the Guru as one's life and soul and worshipable deity, the disabled should learn pure bhakti, and by that pure bhakti, Supreme Lord is satisfied and gives Himself. So these are the two reasons that are given in scriptures. Now Haridas Thakur, he explains the same thing in a more detailed way. Haridas Thakur says that after wandering in 84 lakh species through unintentional pious activity, the Jiva obtains a human body. And this human body is rare opportunity because only in this form can the living entity perform pure devotional service, which is very favorable. And whereas the body of a demigod, there is a tendency to enjoy, and as animal body, he has no capacity for knowledge. So that's why the importance of human life is given, where we'll be able to perform devotional service. So because we get a human life, one can progress towards Krishna. And one does not care to attain Krishna in this body. And if he dies and obtains some other body, so he loses the opportunity to escape from material prison. So this is what happens if you don't have a Guru. So the intelligent person will take shelter of spiritual master who will act as a captain to guide the jiva across the ocean of material nature. So this is why, and therefore one should approach a qualified Guru who is a devotee of Krishna, who has conquered his senses, and we should inquire from him submissively. Sorry, some spelling mistakes are there. So this is what we are supposed to do because we are getting this rare human birth. Now, then what happens? Having attraction for Krishna, he will give up material logic and take shelter of higher knowledge and receive mantra initiation from spiritual master. Being satisfied with the answers, the jiva takes initiation from him and thus cross over the material ocean. Now another question comes, what is the main consideration for choosing a Guru? So then here, one who is a grihastha should take initiation but remain in his duties of varnashrama. So there is a discussion on it. And the Brahmana devotee of Krishna can be Guru for all varnas. And it is also said, no suitable person from Brahmana birth is available. One can receive initiation from a Guru of another varna. And if there is a choice for a grihastha to choose a Guru, he should always choose a Guru from a higher caste because he will not get confused with the habits of if you choose somebody from a different varna, they may not be having some higher standard of habits. So that's why it is recommended to choose. If he's from other country, he has some certain way of lifestyle and all. So if he is Orthodox Brahmana, definitely he will get little discouraged. And if a grihastha cannot get proper spiritual master in grihastha ashram, he should take a bona fide Guru from he takes like he may not be a grahastha, he can take from sannyasi and other vanaprastha as his Guru. And if one renounces household life, so he's want to renounce and seeking spiritual guidance, one should take shelter of an acharya who has successfully renounced household life. Of course, here the main qualification to judge is how much a guru knows about Krishna. So these are the main qualification, and even though he may be of Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, any varna, it does not make a difference because he has the ability to deliver jiva. So it's not based on social position. And if a householder has previously some guru before he renounces his household life, he should not disrespect him or reject him, but he should always honor him. And accepting a guru and performing sadhana bhakti, he will attain bhava, and eventually he will develop disinterest in sense gratification and family life, and he ceases, and he seeks an acharya in the renounced order and take initiation from him. So this is how a person, he will make his progress from it means the importance of guru and diksha. This is how it is explained. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Okay, so I think that was a very good recap of what we saw last week about this third offense, which is disobeying the orders of a spiritual master. So, but before we continue this discussion, if there are any quick comments, discussion points from what we discussed last week and from what has been recapped now, we will take a few discussion points before we move to today's discussion. Yes, Ganesh Prabhu, I am unmuting you. You can please speak. Ganesh Prabhu, we are not able to hear you. At least I am not able to hear you. Haribol. Okay. Prabhu, while you fix your thing, Ruchi.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat.
Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, my question is that as I was just going through the recap which Radha Damodar Prabhuji did so beautifully, my Dandavat to him. So if I am from Grihastha Ashram, that means I must choose a guru from Grihastha Ashram, but normally we are taking initiations. All our gurus are generally sannyasis in order.
Well, see, the current application of these principles should be seen actually in a traditional system. You know, this makes more relevance, but in today's day and age, you know, these considerations are not taken very seriously by most of us. So we have to find out what is the consideration in today's day and age as to, you know, what do we value in a spiritual guide. So, and accordingly, if we can choose. So in today's day and age, we don't have that much, in one sense, like the prior kind of value systems have changed a lot. So so there is no, even today's pakka brahmanas, you know, are very rare. Sometimes, you know, I do know one of my friends, he had he liked ISKCON, he liked Prabhupada, he liked the teachings, but he had an issue with taking initiation from non-Indian bodied guru, because and so there could be people like that. So I mean, so the application is, we have to understand that it is not that a non-Brahmana guru or a non-Indian guru is incapable of delivering us, but the problem is to protect us from committing offenses. So we have to identify what are the criteria which we are very particular about or
Mhm.
which is very touchy parameters. And
Mhm.
better, if you have a choice, better choose a guru who would fulfill those criteria. That is the point.
Thank you, Prabhuji. But my question is, do we have any gurus from Grihastha ashram? I mean, mostly
There
ISKCON
are
gurus
many.
are sannyasis only.
No, not like that. No.
Hmm.
Burijan Prabhu is a Grahastha guru. Then there are many other gurus who are like Grahasthas, but they are gurus. There
Okay.
are quite a few of them.
Okay. So I mean, okay. So I mean, if we have a choice as a Grihastha, we should first prefer a Grihastha guru.
Well, see in today's day and age, whether the application of this would as it is apply this principle or not, we do not know. So it all depends on your personal inspiration also. So the primary criteria is whose Krishna conscious disposition and knowledge and inspiration inspires you primarily in devotional service. Because in today's day and age, mostly this is circumvented by most of the gurus by having a kind of a bunch of qualified devotees or grahasthas who take care of their practical grahastha issues. So the practical grahastha issues are not addressed directly by sannyasi guru. In most cases, they are addressed mostly by qualified senior disciples who are themselves grahasthas. So they do take care of those practical issues, while for philosophical inspiration and spiritual inspiration, they may hear from the Diksha Guru, but for other purposes, there may be other qualified grahastha seniors who may guide them on such practical aspects. So
Thank
that
you.
way, that is circumvented actually.
So thank you, Prabhuji. So it's like a spiritual teamwork.
Yeah, you can say like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, who else? Ganesh Prabhu had. Prabhu, I'm unmuting you again. You can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Prabhuji, thank you so much. Prabhuji, this question was regarding worshipping demigods. Okay.
Mm.
Prabhuji, there are people who, even after coming down to ISKCON and even after understanding the philosophy, but still they are attached to the deity worshipping of demigods. So, in setting an altar, like the first ladder is of definitely Radha Krishna or equivalent of Radha Krishna, like Gaur Nitai or Jagannath Ji and all this stuff. And the last ladder is that is of Guru Parampara. Okay. So Prabhuji, that means I am accepting that Krishna is the highest. So Prabhuji, if someone is accustomed to worshipping demigods, can he place demigods above Guru ladder, or where they should be placing the demigods in case if they want to place it in the temple?
See, it depends on for what purpose they place. It may be to just pacify their family members who may not, who may object otherwise.
Okay.
So in that case, they may have to place the demigods above the Guru Parampara, because already you will be placing them below Radha Krishna, which itself may be objectionable to some family members.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
if you keep them below Guru also, then it may be totally insulting.
Yeah.
So for such purposes, if you have the demigods photograph or some deities on the altar, slightly below Radha Krishna, and even if it is above Guru Parampara, it's fine. I mean, for such purposes. So, there could be certain circumstances which they may be going through. So, for such purposes, if they are doing it, then it's fine. No
And
problem.
Prabhuji, if they are an initiated devotees and still because they have some attachment towards demigod, and because as you know, the reason was also someone stated like in the Radha Gopinath temple, we have Ganesh ji outside the temple at the entrance. We have Hanuman ji behind. So they're like, why not? Because our house is not a big temple where we can place Ganesh ji or something, and we have a small temple. So can't we place it in the temple itself, but above Guru or something? So is it advisable that way?
Well, why in Radha Gopinath temple Ganesh ji is there at the entrance, and see Garud ji and Hanuman ji, in any Vaishnava temple you go, Garud ji is there. If you go to any
Yes,
South
yes.
Indian temple.
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's the greatest devotee of the Lord.
Very true.
So that is there. And Hanumanji also, I mean, as a devotee of Krishna, he is there.
Prabhuji, they
So-
understand everything, but maybe is it because of attachment doing such thing? Is it as an offensive in
Well-
placing in the altar? That is my point.
Well, if you have attachment to them as a devotee, it's fine. I think it's okay.
Okay, okay. And Prabhuji, one more thing in the same regard. Of late, I visited a Ghatkopar Vidyavir base where I saw Lord Ganpati was placed on the same altar, and even Saraswati was placed on the same altar as Lord Jagannath ji.
Mhm.
So, is it right, or
I don't know. I'll have to speak with whoever did that, and what there must be some context to it.
Okay,
Without
because
understanding the
yeah, because Saraswati Devi is already there. It's an idol of Saraswati, of metal deities of Goddess Saraswati, which is
Mhm.
always there. But yesterday I saw there was also a small Ganpati on the same level of Jagannath ji,
Okay,
in between Baldev ji and Subhadra.
I have no idea, Prabhu. So
Okay,
I need to speak with. I mean, you have to. There could be some context to it. Without understanding the context, I don't want to comment.
okay, okay. Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Haribol.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone would like to speak before we continue today's discussion? Okay. Okay. So then we'll continue then. So, so this is one part. So then the next section, actually, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur discusses about the types of guru. He says, guru may be of two types. One who gives diksha with mantra and one who gives spiritual instruction. So this is Shiksha Guru. And this is Diksha Guru, right? They should be considered equal in importance by one who wants to advance quickly. So one should not ideally differentiate between a Shiksha Guru and a Diksha Guru. But of course, one should understand that the qualification for a Shiksha Guru is the same as the qualification for a Diksha Guru, right? So one should not think that Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreyam Uttamam Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upasamashrayam. So he talks about the qualification, that verse talks about the qualification of a Guru. Guru means both Diksha and Shiksha Guru. So it's not like for Diksha, one has to be very qualified. For Shiksha, anyone can be a Shiksha Guru. See, there are two things, right? One is to take Shiksha, and another is to accept someone as a Shiksha Guru, right? So one thing we should understand is whoever gives us Shiksha is not necessarily our Shiksha Guru, right? We can accept guidance or Shiksha from anyone who may be senior to us or little more advanced than us. But to accept someone as a Shiksha Guru means that person should be as qualified as a Diksha Guru. So Shiksha Guru is a very big position. Shiksha we can take, guidance we can take from any senior devotee. But that does not mean whoever gives us guidance is our Shiksha Guru. If he is your Shiksha Guru and if he is that qualified, then you cannot disobey that order. It's a non-negotiable thing. So he says, a person can accept only one Diksha Guru, but may have many Shiksha Gurus who give Sambandha Gyan. Right? So, one who gives Sambandha Gyan is one who is Shiksha Guru. And actually it is the other way around. Okay, let's see. The Sambandha Gyan or teachings are handed down in a Sampradaya from the founder Acharya of the Sampradaya. For us, it is Srila Prabhupada, right? These original teachings and the founder Acharya of the Sampradaya should be worshipped with all respect. So the original teachings and the founder Acharya of the Sampradaya should be worshipped with all respect. One should be loyal to his conclusions and instructions, not taking teachings from others. This is very important. So therefore, for us, any doubt comes, our question should be, what has Prabhupada told? That is the most important thing. What has Prabhupada spoken? Like that. So one should be loyal to his conclusions and instructions, not taking teachings from others. Right? One should take as Shiksha Guru only a person who is following faithfully the teachings of the founder Acharya. So Shiksha Guru means one who is faithfully following the teachings of that founder Acharya. Only he can be a Shiksha Guru. To take initiation or teachings from a Mayavadi is useless. Whoever takes or accepts such unauthorized teachings simply goes to hell. Rejecting Krishna and learning anti-Krishna philosophy can only lead to ruination of one's life. So Shiksha Guru, so Diksha Guru is one who gives Sambandha Gyan. Or he makes our Sambandha with Krishna through the Diksha. Okay. So in our Sampradaya, the representative of all Diksha Gurus is Sanatana Goswami. And the Shiksha Guru is one who gives us the Abhideya guidance, which means practical guidance for how we can practice devotional service. So for us, our Abhideya Acharya is Srila Rupa Goswami. Right? So Shiksha Guru gives us practical guidance as to practice and Sambandha, and the Diksha Guru makes our Sambandha with Krishna. For many of us, the Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru may be the same person actually. The primary getting from our Diksha Guru only through his lectures, through his writings. And of course, for all ISKCON devotees, the primary Shiksha Guru is Srila Prabhupada only. He is the primary Shiksha Guru. The Diksha Guru has to be a live Guru, but the primary Shiksha Guru is Srila Prabhupada only. And whoever is reflecting or properly is acting as a transparent via media to pass on the teachings of Shiksha Guru, of the founder Acharya, he is a bona fide Shiksha Guru. So we can take Shiksha from that person. So, and then he talks about, we should never take initiation or teachings from Mayavadi. That is useless. Whoever takes such unauthorized teaching simply goes to hell. How can a person, he says, how can a person be Guru and deliver others, not having achieved or being able to achieve perfection himself? So a Mayavadi is like that. He has not received a perfection himself, and he cannot deliver himself. How can he deliver others? Thus, Guru, whether Shiksha or Diksha, must be the servant of Krishna and an associate of the Lord eternally in Vrindavan. You see the condition. He must be a servant of Krishna. This is a fairly easy condition. Yes, he must be an associate of the Lord eternally in Vrindavan, which means he must be at the stage of bhava and prema, who has been especially empowered by Krishna. So matlab, this is for the thus guru, whether shiksha or diksha. So which means even the shiksha guru should be ideally a prema bhakta. So otherwise, Prabhuji, you are my shiksha guru. Prabhuji, you are my shiksha guru. No, Prabhuji, you can say that I feel inspired taking shiksha from you, but we cannot use the word shiksha guru because shiksha guru means a very, very high position actually. One should be an associate of the Lord eternally in Vrindavan. So he says, one should serve the guru with great devotion, knowing him to be directly empowered by Krishna, the dearmost servant of Krishna, and one's own eternal spiritual guide. So one should accept the guru, knowing him to be directly empowered by Krishna, the dearmost servant of Krishna. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami says in Manasiksha, second verse, na dharmam na dharmam shrutigana niruktam kila kuru vraje radha krishna prachura paricharyam ihatanu shachi sunum nandishwarapati sutatve guruvaram mukunda preshtatve smara param ajasram nanumana. So he says that if you are if you want to worship Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, then not only should you worship Radha and Krishna, but you should also worship your guru, seeing him to be the dearmost servant of Radha and Krishna. And the direct means of making your connection with Radha and Krishna is the guru. One should see the guru like that. Right? So he says, by such sincere service to the guru, one can cross over the material ocean. Okay, so this is what he says. What is the qualification for Siksha or Diksha Guru, and how one should look at such a Siksha or Diksha Guru, right? Then he says, what is the procedure for worshipping the Guru? How should we worship the Guru? He says, first one should worship the Guru, offering Padya, Argya, etc. Then taking his permission, one should worship the Lord. So one should worship them. Padyam, Argyam are the essential, it is Shodashopacharas are there. But it means, welcoming him properly, washing his feet and things like that. Then he says, then one should offer Krishna Prasad to the Guru, the Vaishnavas, and the demigods and the forefathers. Right? So Krishna Prasad can be offered. With the Guru in mind, one should worship Krishna, and with the Guru in mind, one should chant Krishna's name. So with Guru in mind means with, of course, while meditating on the form of the Guru also, and also while meditating on his mission, his instructions, like that. So consequently, if one disobeys or disrespects the Guru, that is offensive and it will block one's progress in bhakti. Right? As in the case of showing proper respect and devotion to the sadhu and to Krishna, similarly, by properly serving the Guru and chanting the holy name, one can get quick success. So, whatever principles we saw as to how a Vaishnava should be worshipped, so the Guru should be worshipped still more sincerely, because he is no ordinary Vaishnava, but he is our means of establishing a relationship with Radha and Krishna. And he is one of the dearmost servants of Radha and Krishna. So having firm faith in the Guru, one can by the strength of the pure name attain the goal of prema. So just chanting the pure name is not sufficient. One should have firm faith in the Guru. When one has firm faith in the Guru, then by the strength of chanting the pure name, one can attain the goal of prema. So, any quick comments, discussions on these points before we move on to another very important point? So, anything about Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru and these questions? Radha Pramod Prabhu, did you have something?
Bro, like founder Acharya, how Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing founder Acharya, means he is indicating something or
Well, I would like to give me 1 week time. I will check the Bengali and see what exactly he writes.
okay.
I'll have to check, you know, what word, because this is Srila Bhanuswami Maharaj's translation
Yeah,
of that in Bengali, what word he used. I'm just curious. I'll just try to find out.
sure.
Okay, there are many hands up. Okay. Sachipran Prabhu, you had something?
Yes, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so
Dandavat
much.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita,
Mhm.
he, give that shloka that is Shiksha Guru Tajjani Krishnere Sarup,
Hmm.
Antaryami Bhakta Shishto Yei Duiru.
Hmm.
So when we think about, Diksha Guru, it is very obvious that, we have that, connection we feel. But in case of any Shiksha Guru, maybe equal platform we're receiving.
Hmm.
But when to understand this, like, Antaryami Bhakta Shashta Yei Dui Roop, it is like, it is non-different from Krishna.
Hmm.
But to understand this, because sometimes even forget about disobeying, but understanding Guru is as Krishna. Sometimes people worshipping start Srila Prabhupada,
Hmm.
and then in our acharyas and future coming acharyas,
Hmm.
worshipping them.
Hmm.
So how to take it in the context, like respecting at that higher level, how to cultivate that consciousness.
Well, first thing is we have to hear from them, try to follow, and and ideally, initiation should be a byproduct of very solid inspiration and hearing, and one should not just rush into initiation. One should perfectly try to see how inspired we are and how we are able to properly see whether if we are able to see him, put him on a very high pedestal. So that's very important actually. And of course, when we try to follow small things that he has mentioned, and when we start seeing that they are having effect in our spiritual life, then naturally we will develop that faith. So we don't have to force that faith, but we should have some basic faith in the scriptures. And when the scriptures say, or when the previous acharyas say, Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra, one should see the Guru as being almost non-different from Krishna. Then one should have that faith, and when we follow in that, follow the instructions and try to see, and when they start having effects, then slowly our faith will also build in that direction.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Ram Kirti Prabhu, I am unmuting you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhuji.
Dandavat Prabhu.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that one of the criteria of Shiksha or Diksha Guru is that he should be eternal associate of Krishna. So how a person who is like on our platform can know this, that whether some person is an eternal associate or not?
Well, one thing is, at least we do have symptoms of bhava and prema, which are mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. And so if those symptoms are there, and if their attraction is for Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, and if those symptoms are there, then definitely we accept that they are like associates of the Lord in Vrindavan. So there are reliable symptoms mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Kshantir avyartakalatvam viraktir mana shunyata ashabanda samutkanta namagane sadaruchi asaktistat gunakyane preetistad vasatistale. So like that, 9 qualities are mentioned. Kshantir means tolerance of any provoking situation, ability to tolerate. Avyartakalatvam means such a person does not waste even a moment in non-Krishna conscious activities. Virakti means detachment from any kind of enjoyment in this world. Mana shunyata means absolute humility. Ashabanda. Ashabanda means has great hope in receiving Krishna's mercy. Samutkanta means very intense eagerness to serve Krishna. Namagane sadaruchi, having a taste for constantly chanting the holy name. Asaktistat gunakyane, and also having great taste for hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna. Preetistad vasatistale, and has great taste for visiting and staying in the places where Krishna has performed his pastimes. So if these symptoms are there, then we can accept that the person, and if that attraction and attachment is for Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's abode, Krishna's devotees, and if these 9 symptoms are there, then we accept that he must be at that level. He must be an eternal associate.
Prabhuji, we have actually in ISKCON also there were sometimes they were there when people were inspired from some guru and they got initiated, and maybe they might have seen these qualities also in them, but there were some problems then and they had to get reinitiated, etc. So how can we understand this?
But I'm not very sure if they probably, how many people checked these qualities, were educated about these qualities. I'm not very sure. For example, I can give my own example. When I took initiation, I did not know any of these things. And I'm not sure whether when you took initiation, because your name sounds like an initiated name only, so whether you knew about these things.
Right.
Yeah. So most people don't know, but at least we can educate people. That is why there are many such, the ISKCON disciples course and all these courses are there, where at least some basic guidance as to how you can choose your guru, how you should choose your guru, what is the criteria, and all that is given, so that people are more educated and they select according to the right criteria, like that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Ramya Mataji, I'm unmuting you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Mataji.
Prabhuji, so the first thing is I have a fair understanding about what is initiation and all, but the question what I have is, here so much emphasis is put on the quality of the guru, like how the guru should be and whom you should accept as a guru. But why are there no such bars on the quality of a disciple? Like
there are. Yeah, there are qualifications for disciple.
So if I aspire to, like, my thing is, if like now I aspire to be a disciple, So before looking at qualities of a guru, I should look at my own qualities as to where I stand, right? Whether
both.
I'm even eligible to get a guru. Like, so it is like.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. See, it is both ways, because when you find a qualified guru, then you may be inspired to sacrifice your life. So certain qualities of surrender, which may inspire, which may be required for a disciple. One may not feel that kind of surrender seeing seeing some people, but they may feel that level of surrender seeing other people. So the qualities of a disciple, because the disciple guru relationship is a two-way relationship. So like say for any relationship for that matter, like you may love your mother, but you may not love someone else's mother that much. So just because you may not love someone else's mother, I cannot say that you don't love your mother. So it all depends on it all depends on your, I think on that one-on-one relationship with the guru. It depends on that. So once you find a qualified person as guru, then you can definitely evaluate if I'm willing to surrender my life to this person. So then those qualities you can judge. Otherwise, if you don't find a qualified person, then definitely you will not see those qualities of surrender and other such things in yourself.
So in the meantime, if I've like not yet found the guru, like should I like go on accepting my senior devotees' instructions?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Or
Definitely.
I might not be able to always obey their instructions. In that case, like for how long do I have to wait, like for a guru? Like at some point, if I'm not able to find a guru, and like let's say that if I'm getting old, then at some point, like can we have the thing like okay, accept whoever comes as my guru, like, or how is it like if we don't ever feel like surrender or?
Well, then we have to introspect, Mataji, why we are not feeling that level of surrender, and see, is it our problem? And if we think that I need still more some time, you take that time. If in this life you are not able to take that initiation, then because you have practiced Krishna consciousness sincerely, Krishna will allow you to continue from where you left, and then maybe in your next life you can and you can also offer your prayers to Srila Prabhupada, to Krishna, to Radharani, to help you find out your guru. That we can do. Prayers definitely will help.
Okay, but
and we can also discuss, our reveal our heart in confidence to some senior devotees who are very mature, and advanced, and they can understand our nature, and they can suggest, oh, maybe this guru will suit your nature, because you have this need, because some people have a need for, I need personal guidance from the guru, like that. So and some people may have different other needs. So which guru may suitably fulfill that desire, also some mature devotees may be able to guide, like that.
Thank you. Prabhuji, can I ask one more question, Prabhuji, in the same sequence?
Yeah.
What if I find a guru to whom I feel like surrendering, but they are not willing to accept me as a disciple? Or it could be the vice versa also. Like maybe a guru is willing to accept a person as a disciple, but he's not willing to accept him as a guru? Like how to navigate around these situations, Prabhuji?
Well, if someone is not willing to accept you as a Diksha disciple, you can always accept Siksha from that devotee. So why be adamant only about Diksha? Siksha is very, very important. So if you are really convinced about that particular guru's spiritual credentials, you can, if he is not willing to give Diksha, then definitely you can accept Siksha from that person, and that is possible.
Okay, Prabhuji. Like can I compare this to like Ekalavya having Dronacharya's picture and practicing similarly?
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Uh, you can see Diksha is one aspect. You can accept Diksha from another guru who may give Diksha and who is also bona fide, whose so you can, and for that also you can take guidance from that other guru who is not willing to give you Diksha, but I'm presuming that he may be willing to give you Siksha, right? So practical guidance, it may not be on a personal one-on-one basis also. It could be through his classes also. So you may be very much inspired. So you can continue to take that inspiration from that guru, and you can accept Diksha from whoever else you may feel some attraction for. So you may take Diksha from them and continue to take Siksha. This is another bona fide guru who is not willing to give Diksha. That is always possible.
Okay. In that case, I must be obeying the instructions of both the gurus.
Yeah. See, ideally, in such a case, you can even ask if, see, from what I understand in your case, the that guru is not he's not willing to give Diksha to anyone, right?
No, that's not the case with me. I was like thinking, in case I come across a situation, like I am very new, Prabhuji. I'm like still chanting 4 rounds. I didn't come to a stage of 16 rounds also. I was like thinking like, yeah, this situation could happen in future, like that way. I still didn't face it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that is the case, then yeah, there are ways of navigating around, Mataji. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ganesh Prabhu, I'm unmuting you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat. I'm audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhuji, this is in regard to Diksha Guru. When we say Diksha Guru gives you a mantra, the mantra is already open that we are chanting, and even the Diksha Guru gives the same mantra, right? So, like, I'm little bit I don't have an idea in this thing. So, what difference does it makes apart from accepting your sin and everything and giving you a sambandha, you know? So, what does that mean? Gives a mantra.
Well, he gives the mantra means he empowers it. So that is why it is said, Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantraste Nishfala Mata. So the secret is not in the syllables of the mantra. The secret is in the empowerment of the mantra, which comes through the mantra's connection with a bona fide parampara. So otherwise, anyone can give. You can also give a mantra to someone. You know the mantra, the same mantra you can give. But the point is, when we are bona fide and when we are connected to a bona fide sampradaya, so then that mantra gets empowered actually. So just like, you know, Brahmastra is there, you chant a mantra and empower that Brahmastra. One may think, what is the need? Your bow is there, arrow is there, just pull the string and release the arrow. So, but then through mantras, you empower the arrows, right? So similarly, the gurus can, by being connected to the proper parampara, they can they can empower the mantra actually.
Okay. So Prabhuji, in that case, assuming it if there are some new people who are coming to the temple and there is a class going on by Radhanath Maharaj. And in that lecture, Radhanath Maharaj says about chanting and all those things. And if by hearing to that, if someone starts chanting, so it is directly given by the Radhanath Maharaj, and this person has started chanting. So can you say it's a diksha or like what you
No.
can?
No, I mean, so if by that the person gets inspired to eventually take diksha, then he should try to qualify himself to receive diksha also.
Prabhuji is still going to chant the same mantra, na? Anyway, he
Correct.
was doing it and he received from Radhanath Maharaj only. He didn't hear from anyone else and he
Yeah,
got
but
the
that is
same.
not the procedure, na, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, that is not the procedure. If that was the case, then in a Bhagavatam class, daily 1,000 people can be initiated, na?
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
but it does not happen like that. Yeah. Then the
Okay.
sanctity of that whole thing will be lost actually.
Okay. So Prabhuji, is there something that Maharajas or Diksha Gurus do on that chanting bead or something and then it is given to us? Or like,
They chant, na? They chant around
okay.
of
Okay.
mantra and give it to us.
Yeah. Prabhuji, one more question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhuji, if someone is seeing progressing despite of all some neglectful attitude and offenses, but they have a good connection with Vaishnavas and this Vaishnavas or gurus, brahmacharis from the temple. So, and is that they're progressing because that connection is there despite of so many neglects and offenses?
Well, we do not know, Prabhu. We have to first thing is to find out on what basis you think that they are making progress, and the second thing is to find out offenses or neglect means how much it is connected to their intent and their attitude. So there are many things which are involved. I cannot just we cannot just make a blanket statement. So there are multiple parameters involved. We may have access to 1 or 2 parameters. There may be another 10 other parameters which we may not necessarily know. So only when we know, there are certain positive parameters which they may be neglecting, and there are few other positive parameters which they may be very nicely doing.
Okay.
So like that.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Ruchi Mataji.
Dandavat Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji, I have heard all this discussion. I mean, so many devotees have asked you questions regarding Diksha and Shiksha Guru. But Prabhuji, I am actually in this discussion not very convinced because my understanding is totally different. A few years back, I had read a book by Gaur Govind Swami Maharaji, the late Gaur Govind Swami Maharaji, about that who are we to even judge the Guru. I mean, a Guru will be definitely a senior Vaishnava, and how I as a dint in bhakti can even judge a senior Vaishnava. And if I try to judge the qualities of a senior Vaishnava, that this person can be my Shiksha Guru and this person can be my Diksha Guru, if I am trying to gauge the magnitude of their devotion, I am not transgressing Vaishnava etiquettes. Is that not an offense? So who am I to gauge that this person has got all the symptoms of bhava and prem? How I know that they are authentic symptoms of bhava and prem? Because I had attended your class last year about the royal road to bhav and prem. So there were so many instances you told where people are shedding tears. It could be their emotions or it could be they are connected with something.
That is why I told the 9 symptoms, reliable symptoms that I shared today.
Yes.
Not one of those symptoms were shedding tears or hair standing on end, because they are not reliable symptoms of bhava.
Right.
So I mentioned 9 other symptoms which are reliable symptoms of bhava, which are qualities and not some bodily transformations like
Right.
crying tears and things like that.
But Prabhuji, then to know those 9 symptoms, we have to be closely associated with the senior disciples and devotees of Srila Prabhupada, whom we are aspiring as our gurus, but we are never associated with them 24 hours, I mean personally. So more we are relying is on the feedback of our senior devotees and who have been their disciples, and moreover on our luck also.
Well, it may seem like luck, but if you are sincere, Krishna's guidance will be there.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Padma Sakhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
My
Krishna.
obeisances to you and all the devotees.
Hare.
My question is with regards to the Avaduta Brahman that I read about in the Bhagavatam. I just want to understand how does that fit into this context, the presentation you made. The reason is because many times in our practical life, we find so many people through whom we learn so many things. Should we take that as they are agents of our karma, or should we consider them as our shiksha gurus? Because though things may work negatively with them, but through them you learn an art, for example, tolerance or self-service, which you devote to Krishna. So I was just a bit confused. Like the Avaduta Brahman took it very positively as his shiksha gurus.
The 24
maybe
gurus,
you
that's
can
what you're
enlighten
talking
us.
about, right?
Yes, the 24 gurus, yes.
Well, if you see that whole section, even though he talks about them as being his gurus, in reality, actually, if you carefully read through that section, Krishna instructs Uddhava to accept his own intelligence as his guru. That's what he says. So and then in that context, he because Krishna was planning to leave the planet, and he had decided to leave Uddhava there to finish some unfinished work, whatever it may be. So Uddhava is feeling, if you go back, then who is going to guide me? Where can I? You are my guru. How can I take guidance? How will I progress in my spiritual life? So Krishna says that Uddhava, for self-realized people, they can accept their own intelligence as their guru. He says that. And then he gives the example of the Avadut Brahmana, who was a self-realized person, and he accepted the 24 gurus. But were they his gurus? From a very superficial point of view, it may look like that. But no. Actually, his intelligence had been very nicely processed by the association of a live guru. He had reached the stage of self-realization by getting trained under a live guru. And then when he reaches that stage of self-realization, then whatever he looks, that object reflects an aspect of his self-realization, right? So he looks at different things, right? Can you think of something that he accepted as his guru?
Earth, fire.
So he
water.
learned the law of karma from earth, right? That how people are from the earth's tolerance. He learned that I can also tolerate when I understand the law of karma. So now there have been billions and billions of people since time immemorial walking on planet Earth, walking on Earth. How many of them have learned the law of karma from Earth? I would say none, actually. But because he had already learned about law of karma from his guru and he had internalized it by practice, therefore when he looks at earth, that earth reflects his own self-realized state, an aspect of his own self-realized state. So just like they say, you look at things according to your level of consciousness. So because he was already self-realized, when he looked at earth, he was sort of he did not learn law of karma from the earth, but he was actually reminiscing what he had already learned from his guru and internalized it through his association. So the earth is not acting as a guru. The earth is acting as a reflecting surface for what he had already learned from his guru. But if one has not learned it from a live guru, just these mere objects, a python or an earth or whatever, it is not going to teach us anything actually. So and even in his case, they have not taught him anything. Actually, what he has already learned and internalized, they are only acting as reflecting surface to reflect those teachings. That's all. But if he has not learned anything from a live guru, then he will not learn anything from them too. Does it make sense, Mataji?
Yes, perfect sense. May I just do a follow-up on that?
Yeah.
So for example, just a random example, if someone has a live guru, and then let's say he's in a situation where the family is not devotees, but himself is a devotee, and then because the family pushes him not to take the path of bhakti, from them he learns tolerance and he learns how to take more shelter of bhakti. Should he consider them, because he's learned the philosophy of tolerance and everything from his guru, but he's getting the realization from his daily interactions with the family of what it exactly means to be tolerant and to serve selflessly to Krishna. So should he consider them to be agents of his karma, or can he take them as his Shiksha Guru? Because sometimes I hear people saying, though these things happen with me in my family, but I consider them as my Shiksha Guru because without them, I would not be at where I am right now in my Krishna consciousness.
Well, it's a good sentiment to have. It's a good sentiment to have. Nothing wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it. But whether it is philosophically right, may not necessarily be, because Siksha Guru, that's why we are discussing who is a Siksha Guru. So, so definitely they are not Siksha Gurus, but you can, I mean, I don't know what that person means by accepting as a Siksha Guru. Is he going to perform Guru Puja for that person? I mean, just that, I mean, I don't think, definitely he might not think like that. Or is he going to treat him exactly like the way he would treat his Diksha Guru? I don't think so. Just that it's a good sentiment that you have helped me practically apply and see these principles of tolerance and other things. So there might be a sense of gratitude, but that, and in a very harmless way, he or she may say that, oh, I see him as my Siksha Guru. It's okay. It's a good sentiment, but if you probe him or her, I don't really think that they would see him as Siksha Guru. Well, at the most, they may see that, okay, as you rightly said, they are like instruments of my karma, like that.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Venkat going through.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandat Pranam.
Dandat, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, this is not a question, but this is just a continuation of the discussion regarding hearing the mantra in the class and becoming initiated. Actually, one of the senior devotees, Krishnanand Prabhu, had clarified this point earlier to me, saying that if suppose there is an electrical equipment, till the switch is turned on, the equipment will not work. The equipment is there, but it is not working. So the initiation process is just like turning that switch on. Till then, the mantra is there, a person is chanting, but the effectiveness will be more, or the effectiveness will come only when it is empowered by the Guru. Correct. By turning that switch on. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Thank you, Ru. Thank you very much for sharing.
Correction.
Hare Krishna. Okay, there are 1 or 2 questions in the chat box. I'll just take and then we can proceed further. Okay. What if instructions of Siksha and Diksha Guru contradicts sometime? Which one to give preference, or how do you find the middle way? Well, by discussing with them, with the Diksha Guru or Siksha Guru, whoever is more approachable, then take guidance from them only. Yeah, that's what I would think. And ideally, a bona fide Siksha Guru should guide in line with the Diksha Guru only, ideally. And for most of us, our primary Siksha Gurus are probably our Diksha Gurus only, for most of us, maybe. Mega Rupa Mataji, okay. If someone finds one spiritual master and counselor's instructions not matching in terms of mood, then how to deal with it without offending anyone? Well, okay, this is a very tricky question. Well, I would say, ideally, see, a counselor's role is spiritual inspiration. So if it is consistently the mood of the counselor is different, and if it is not so inspiring to us, because we see that mood is significantly different from the Diksha Guru, and one of the reasons why we got attracted to the Diksha Guru is because of the kind of mood that he displays. And if our Shiksha Guru may not have that particular, or counselor may not have that particular mood, then we can always opt for another counselor whom we may see as reflecting that mood. Because ultimately the purpose of a counselor is to inspire us spiritually, and if that spiritual inspiration is not coming, then we can definitely opt for another counselor whose mood may be more inspiring to us. That's what I would think. I don't know if that is relevant to your question or not. Okay. I've heard that Krishna guides from within who to take as your guru. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Well, yeah, if we sincerely pray, Krishna can definitely guide. Okay, so one last question before we move ahead. Anjan Prabhu, I am unmuting you. After that, we will continue with our discussion.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandos Pranam. Prabhuji, you mentioned that, at the time of initiation, it gets activated, the holy mantra gets activated. So I have this kind of doubt that I thought the holy mantra, holy name with the mantra, just a few examples, the doubt is coming. Like, for example, Prabhupada took 10 years to get initiated. So does that mean that, there was nothing acting, no progress that happened 10 years?
That is why I mentioned in the beginning only. I don't know if you were there in the previous discussion. We did discuss that, the very first time he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he had internally accepted him as his guru, or at least in the first few meetings only. So just the procedure of initiation took 10 years. But he had internally accepted him as his guru, and he was definitely not averse to accepting initiation. So there the holy name does not wait for the procedure of initiation. So, but if one is not convinced of accepting a guru only, then the effectiveness of that mantra will be little compromised. It may not be there that much.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we should move ahead. I see few hands up. I will take these questions the next time. After I'll cover some more portion and then I'll take more questions. Okay. Now the next very important topic that we are going to discuss is, when should a guru be rejected? Okay, this is a very sensitive topic. when should a guru be rejected? It may happen that through asatsanga, a guru may lose his qualifications, right? So starting as a big guru, by committing namaparad, he loses his knowledge. So it may happen sometimes. And by offending other Vaishnavas, he loses the taste for the name and gradually falls under the control of wealth and women. It may happen, right? So if we commit offenses, one may lose the taste for the name and one may gradually fall under the control of, right? Such a guru should be rejected, he says. By the mercy of Krishna, that disciple will obtain a new bona fide guru and take up pure chanting of the name again. So this is possible. Okay. If a guru takes unsuitable people for disciples, he will have to suffer for that. And if a disciple takes an unqualified guru, he will accordingly suffer. So both, it's a responsibility for both to accept. So basically, a disciple should not also accept an unqualified guru. So which means there is some kind of evaluation that is expected, but that is done in a mood of humility. So, but that is some kind of evaluation that should be there. The very fact that we don't accept initiation from, our friend or something, we do accept initiation only from whom we judge as elevated Vaishnavas. So that itself means that, we unconsciously or consciously do make some kind of evaluation of the guru, not in an offensive way, but definitely for some practical purposes. So in order to avoid these misfortunes, one should be cautious. So neither should a guru accept unqualified disciples, nor should a disciple accept an unqualified guru. Okay. On the other hand, as long as both guru and disciple are properly qualified, the relationship will continue. So if both are qualified, the relationship will continue. Ideally, this relationship is eternal. You see the choice of words. Chakshudan dilojay janme janme prabhu say, right? So ideally, right, this relationship is eternal. But if the disciple becomes bad, the guru must reject him. And if the guru becomes bad, the disciple must reject him. Right? Otherwise, both may fall. Better one than both. Right? In order to prevent the pain of having to reject one's guru, this is answer to Ruchi Mataji's question. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur writing. In order to prevent the pain of having to reject one's guru, one should first carefully examine him to see if he is a pure devotee of Krishna. This is important actually. So that examining is not in a mood of, in an arrogant mood, but in a very humble mood, one should definitely do that kind of testing, right? So, even in receiving a material article, one examines it for quality. Once having accepted a qualified guru, if one disobeys his instruction, one commits a grave offense. By that, even the demigods can fall down to hell. Right? So, like that. So next, the topic that is being discussed is that how should the guru be respected? So he says the guru's bed and seat, his shoes, his car, water from washing his feet, and his image should be respected. Right? if one fails to respect them or worships someone else as guru in the guru's presence, that is devious mentality trying to minimize the bona fide guru. So, like that. So one should regard the guru as one's lord and master, obey his words and instructions, and when seeing him fall flat on the ground, one should loudly glorify the guru, never disobey his order, take his prasad remnants, and not discuss anything that the guru dislikes. Right? Then, surrendering oneself humbly at the guru's feet, one should act so that he is pleased. If one acts in this way and performs Krishna Nama Sankirtan, one will gain all perfections. That is the statement of the Vedas. Right? So one thing that is mentioned here, the guru's bed and seat, his shoes, car, water from washing his feet, and his image should be respected. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj has written a series of books on his own reflections on various books, and one of the books on which he has written his reflections is this Harinaam Chintamai. We could have taken his reflections also. Some are very, very good, but somehow we don't have so much time. So in talking about this, he says, how would you actually in today's ISKCON scenario, actually in a traditional mutt, if you see, the guru is always there in the mutt, and the asana is probably only there for the guru. And but in an ISKCON setup where a temple does not belong to a particular guru, actually, in one sense, right? So anyone may come, and even the guru may not stay there for most of the time. He may be traveling, and many times other devotees, junior devotees, his own disciples, may have to give classes, and they may have to sit on the same seat in which the guru has was seated before. So how do we but in that case we are having to use the same seat that he has used before. So how do we reconcile this? So Maharaj writes that we should understand, we may say that, oh, in today's scenario these things cannot be followed, and just reject it. So, and in that way we will reject practically most of the things, telling that it is not practical to follow in today's day and age. That's very easy to do. But Maharaj says, okay, for whatever practical reasons we may not be able to follow the principles, at least we can mentally respect, we can mentally offer apologies, rather than being completely callous about it. Yeah, in today's day and age, it is impossible. In ISKCON setup, how can we follow it? We may think like that. But Maharaj says that, okay, for whatever practical reasons you may not be able to follow, at least are we repentant about it? We should at least know what is the highest standard. So we should know what is the highest standard. And for whatever practical reasons we are not able to follow it, at least we can be mentally apologetic, mentally regretful, and offer apologies to the guru, mentally seek forgiveness for having to use something that he had used. Not only we will be using what he has used, eventually he will have to use what we have used also, right? One thing is to use his seat, and another thing is to give our own seat to our own guru, right? Ultimately, if we have given Bhagavatam class and again the guru comes and sits on the same Bhagavatam class, it is like he has accepted our used seat. So rather than telling in today's ISKCON setup, this is, we have to live with it like that, rather than thinking that way, we should at least feel mentally regretful. That's what Maharaj writes. Then he says that the Guru will give proper teachings concerning the holy name, and after having established faith in the holy name in a person's heart, he will formally give him the name of Krishna or a mantra containing the name of Krishna to chant as his sadhana. This is Diksha. So he's describing what is Siksha, what is Diksha. If by bad association or contact with bogus literature, you see, bad association is one, or by contact with bogus literature, if one happens to reject or disrespect such a bona fide Nama Diksha Guru, one should immediately give up that bad association and literature and in sorrow approach the feet of one's Guru. Whatever, if due to some bad association, if we happen to reject one's Guru, a bona fide Guru, because we came in touch with some bad association or due to some bogus literature, if we happen to reject or disrespect such a Guru, then one should immediately give up that bad association and literature and in sorrow approach the lotus feet of the Guru. Okay, someone is asking, can you show the screen which talks about Diksha? I'm showing it again. So just let me know after you have read it. You can type on the chat box. Okay. So, being all merciful, the Guru will reinstate him, and by again chanting sincerely, he will attain prema. That person who, thinking himself lower than a blade of grass, aspires for the dust from the feet of Haridas Namacharya, will be qualified to sing always the touch of the holy name, which is Harinaam Chintamai. Okay, so that is how you can rectify the situation if we have rejected a Guru or rejected his instructions, all of that. Okay, that brings us to the end of this chapter. So before we move on to the next chapter, if there are any quick comments, questions, I will take. I see a few hands up. Parvatamma Mataji, I'm unmuting you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Mataji.
Prabhuji, this is my question is, nowadays all are of college students, they are coming to Krishna consciousness. Only they are counselors or Siksha Gurus. They are taking from them Siksha. In a family of 4 or 5 members, all are accepting. But still there are gulf of differences, and it is becoming problematic. Means day to day chanting also becomes very difficult. That means what I want to say straightly means the Siksha Guru from whom they are taking, the family members, they cannot approach to tell their grievances to the Siksha Gurus. So then what is the fate of this family, Prabhuji? Because every day it will be problematic. Actually, my case I am telling. In my house, the day one, my son accepted by Vaishnava mercy. We got into faith that Krishna is supreme, and we are chanting from that day itself. But due to so much knowledge he is taking, and for everything he asks for, you show me something authoritative in scriptures. I can't show him that no, I can't quote from scriptures. That is every day there will be friction. And how to sort out this, Prabhuji? Actually, devotional service is
actually, Mataji,
Susukam Kartamavayam.
Correct. So how long your son has been practicing, Mataji? Hari bol.
Prabhuji, this is for 7th year, I think. 7th year.
7th year.
Yeah.
I
the
think
most unfortunate parents. Yeah.
The most unfortunate?
Like parents, I have to tell, because knowing pretty well, we have to, as a family, we have to progress, but a lot of tribulations we are facing. How to, that Siksha Gurus, they can mend, I accept that there may be some problem in me also. But for me also, I am not getting any guru, any senior to guide me in my association. And my son, he, whatever he is getting from his Siksha Gurus, and he is applying, and he is very serious for that progress in Krishna conscious. I don't have any problem. But the thing is, practically, many problems we are facing.
Yeah, I think, Mataji, I think, yeah, it could be either your son is immaturely in principles, that could be a problem, or he's probably not disclosing the practical issues that he is facing, that others are facing due to his practice of Krishna consciousness at home. He is not probably discussing this with his Shiksha Guru. That could also be a case. Or worst case, his
actually I tried, Prabhuji. I tried to reach out to his Siksha Gurus, but unfortunately he could not help me. Means he was not willing to help me. That I can say, because however I tried,
but
I don't know why he could not help me.
Yeah, one thing, Mataji, actually, so the third thing I did not share. One thing is either he is not disclosing the pains that are happening at home to his Shiksha Guru, or it could even happen that he is immaturely applying those principles, not really understanding the mood and essence. The third case could be his Siksha Guru himself is not Siksha Guru. I can tell the person from whom the devotee from whom he is taking Siksha may not be very mature also. That is also possible. Not everyone who gives Siksha is necessarily very mature. So that could also be a issue. So and the fourth thing is there could be some practical issues from your side also. So I mean, this is not a forum in which we can sort of sort this out.
Actually,
but the point is,
see, how can both me and my son can be relieved of this pain and progress in Krishna? That was my question.
Yeah, I mean, this cannot be definitely addressed in this one forum, Mataji, because
how can I have your personal something for 2 minutes?
Yeah, definitely, Mataji. I'll send my number. You can
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sachi Pranru.
Prabhuji, regarding this bad association, someone who is initiated and somehow or other, he fall prey to bad association and the four regulative principle. And then he immediately come to know, disrespecting his spiritual master's instruction. So this point which is here, it's like he has to immediately give up that association and sincerely pray for Guru's mercy. Then still he will attain the prema. That's point you were mentioning, Prabhuji.
Yeah, correct, na? Because ultimately, for one mistake, you will eternally not get prema. Then what is the hope for all of us, right?
Yeah.
So he says that if by bad association or contact with bogus literature one happens to reject or disrespect such a bona fide Nam Diksha Guru, one should immediately give up that bad association and literature and in sorrow approach the feet of one's Guru. Being all merciful, the Guru will reinstate him, and by again chanting sincerely, he will attain prema.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Gauranga Purushottam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Prabhu.
Prabhuji, my question is that generally it happens that nowadays there are a lot of people are criticizing our sannyasi and our Guru also, and it's come here, please ignore that or don't read this, ignore that or just dislike that. So in due course of time, sometimes out of curiosity also we can see or read this also.
No, we don't have anything to read about any of these things.
So what should you do if somebody read this also? Because previously I have read this also. So what can you do?
At least henceforth don't read, and that's all. Henceforth don't read.
Okay. Means any approach means we are just asking this Guru or this.
Pray to Krishna to forgive you. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Arpita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. So, Prabhuji, my question is that, you said Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, ideally they should be at the level of Bhava, both of them. And so this one criteria, this thing is there. This is itself in itself very rare to find such a person who is at the level of Bhava. Then the second point is that we should also feel a connection with him, and we should feel inspired by hearing from him, and that inspiration should be continuous. It should be lifelong. It should not be just for few months or like that. And so Prabhuji, then this is again very difficult. So Prabhuji, then I wanted to ask you that, Prabhuji, how can I, I'm not initiated yet. So in this case, how can I actually pray to Krishna in such a way that Lord really helps me develop that faith in the Guru? Means I obviously hear from some Maharaj and I have faith also, but my faith is not so strong also that I
That's
can.
okay. You can allow it to organically grow. We cannot force it.
And means how can we pray to Krishna to, like, Prabhuji, to really bless us with that faith? Means I'm praying to Krishna to bless me with that faith, but still how can we show Krishna by our sincere efforts in devotional service? Will it happen? How will it happen that we will get that unflinching faith in someone?
Sincerely pray to Krishna, and through your devotional commitment also you show to Krishna, and Krishna will guide. And don't think anything will happen overnight. It may happen also, but mostly it won't. So just wait, and Krishna will help in his own way, and you may develop that faith over a period of time.
So Prabhuji, until I'm not 100% sure, I should not go for initiation until like that, no, Prabhuji?
Well, that is true, but we will have to constantly keep asking ourselves if we are postponing it for very long, is it my own attachments, or is it the qualification of the guru, like that we might want to actually ask ourselves?
And Prabhuji, if the Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru means any both, anyway, very rare to find any also. If we find one also, but if we are not able to have any personal connection with them, we just have their lectures. So just by hearing and not having any personal connection, any opportunity, any other opportunity to serve than Vani Seva, no opportunity to serve, no association also, just lectures. Can we progress like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then Prabhuji, this question that Prabhuji, you also said that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing, ideally this relationship is eternal. And you also said that prayer, Shakshudan, Zilo Jai, Janme Janme Prabhu say. So Prabhuji, is it means when we are accepting a guru, it is a relationship, it is a personal relationship also with that person, guru disciple relationship. It is not just the guru tattva.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, life after life means obviously we I will not go back to Goloka in this one life only. So in like that, so does the guru whom I accept in this life, he comes back again, or
No.
how does that happen?
No, he.
How is it? Yeah, the
in
next
our
life,
next life,
next guru.
Next guru will, in one sense, it will be like a representative of the previous
Okay.
guru, like that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. Well, okay, I have few more hands and some. Okay, I'll take one or two questions from the chat box. I have my Gurudev's image or photo frame on altar, but due to 5-6 years of worship, it has become dull, and I want to purchase new photo frame. So what should be done of the old image? And there are multiple ways of doing it. You can leave it on a river, or you know, dig the earth and put the photo frame. These are some bona fide ways of doing it. I think you have raised your hands probably to ask the same question. If yes, then you can put your hands down. Shyamokun Prabhu. Okay, another question. Unqualified disciple will cause the spiritual master to suffer. Though I feel I am not qualified, please elaborate on the disciples' qualifications so that I can keep them in check. Okay, that's a whole different discussion. We will not necessarily get into that in this section because it will be not completely relevant, even though it is connected, but it should be somewhat relevant to our current discussion. So Ganesh Prabhu, I am unmuting you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, there was a paragraph. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhuji, there was a paragraph regarding the suffering of guru as well as the disciple. So can you just emphasize on what type of suffering does both of them go through?
Well, they may have some spiritual difficulties if the guru has accepted too many unqualified disciples for name, fame, whatever improper reasons. And same with the disciple also. He may also have some spiritual difficulties.
Prabhuji, are there also physical suffering for the disciples in case if he's associated with some, some wrong thing with the other way around? I mean to say, is what type of physical suffering or anything does a disciple also goes through?
I
If
don't
some mistake
know.
happens at the guru.
Yeah, I'm not very sure if that thing. I don't remember reading anything like that. Maybe it is, but I don't remember reading anything like that.
So it is all on the spiritual level, Prabhuji.
There could be some physical level suffering also, but I am not aware.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Shyam Mukund Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Prabhu.
Prabhuji, my question is that from childhood, I was having attachment for reading Tulsidas Ramayana.
Okay.
And then I was attachment because in my family also my father used to read and all that.
Okay.
But then after graduation, I came in contact with ISKCON,
okay.
then got initiated, and now I have very much attachment to follow the process and in some birth go back to Goloka. But still I have that attachment of reading that, and I do read it sometimes. So is it okay to read such literatures?
Well, definitely it will not fall within the category of bogus literature.
Yes, Prabhu.
It is very much bona fide literature. Well, if but it may not be exactly suitable to develop the mood that may be necessary to go to Goloka Vrindavan. So
Yes, Prabhu, that also I am getting in my mind constantly that.
yeah. So yeah, I mean,
But
once in a
during
while you
Ram
can.
Navami and all that
Yeah,
time I
definitely
do
go
read
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. No problem. You can read.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Okay. I think we will move ahead. We have another 13-14 minutes. I think I will start the next chapter. So I will just stop this and share the next chapter. So that we can at least cover some portions. So the next offense, as you all might know, is actually Shruti Shastra Nindanam, criticizing bona fide scriptures. Criticizing scriptures. So generally, when we think, so we may think that, oh, I don't commit this offense, right? We may think that, oh, I don't criticize any scriptures. One may think like that. So now, so generally, when you think of scriptures, in such cases, mostly people have Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, these books in mind. Okay, but generally, these books we won't criticize these scriptures, but generally we will tend to criticize non-pure devotional Vedic literatures, right? Like some Dharma Shastras or some Yoga Shastras or some Jnana Shastras. We may have a very critical attitude towards them, right? So there are two extremes to this problem, actually. Our dealing with our dealing with non-pure devotional but Vedic literatures. There are two approaches. One thing is all Vedic literatures are meant for me to read and practice. This is one end of the understanding. Whatever falls within Vedic literatures, I should read them, I should follow them. The other end of the pendulum is anything other than pure devotional literature is bogus. This is other end. If it is not Bhagavatam, if it is not Bhagavad Gita, if it is not Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, oh, Manusmriti, bogus. Upanishads, bogus. Yoga Shastras, bogus. Karmakandiya scriptures, bogus. No. So this is also wrong. This is also wrong. So generally, we won't tend to reject or criticize pure devotional scriptures, but we may have this attitude in dealing with non-pure devotional Vedic literatures when we think that one thing is to say that, oh, these scriptures are not meant for me, but we may extend it and think these literatures are not meant for anyone. No one should be studying these literatures. So if we think like that, actually we are challenging Krishna's intelligence only in creating these literatures. We think we know better than Krishna. So we think that Krishna created these literatures, but why? He should not have created these literatures. He must have just created the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. That is sufficient, na? Why create these kind of literatures? They are bogus, right? So this is offense. This is actually criticizing. What to speak of criticizing pure devotional scriptures only? That is a big criticism. But even to criticize non-pure devotional but bona fide Vedic literatures is definitely criticism, and we can actually commit such offenses. Okay, so let's read what Bhaktivinoda Thakur has to say. Jaya Jaya Gadai Gauranga Nityananda Jaya Sitapati Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So this is the invocation. So Haridas spoke, Lord, the fourth offense is criticism of scripture. This offense will also obstruct one's bhakti. So he says, scripture means the four Vedas, the Upanishads and the Puranas. They are all scriptures. Having emanated from the breathing of Krishna, they constitute perfect knowledge and authority. So they constitute perfect knowledge and authority, right? Particularly in spiritual matters, these must be referred to as final proof, right? Because Pratyaksha and Anuman cannot help one understand transcendental subject matters. So definitely this is one should accept the Shabda Praman. Because the material senses of man characterized by the four faults, you all know these four defects of Pratyaksha and Anuman Praman, right? Karana Patava, limited perception, we cannot see beyond a particular distance, and Brahma, illusion. We see something, but we think it is something else. Then there is Vipralipsa, desire to report something other than what is perceived, cheating propensity, right? And Pramada, inattention of the senses. So sometimes our senses may be able to perceive objects within a few meters, but even though there may be objects moving within that perceivable range of our senses, but still our mind may be absorbed somewhere else. So even though our senses are seeing, but it may not get registered also. This is inattention of the senses, right? So because of these four defects, our senses cannot possibly perceive anything beyond the material level of unconscious matter. The spiritual realm would be unapproachable without the aid of Krishna. So therefore, without the aid of Krishna, just using our mind and senses, we cannot actually approach Krishna, or at least transcendental subject matters. Therefore, Krishna has given the four Vedas, which are beyond the four faults of the senses, and by these alone can man progress towards the spiritual goal. So therefore, Mayar Mugda Jiver Nahi Swata Krishna Gyan, Jiver Kripa Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mayar mugda jiver nahi swata Krishna gyan. So for a living entity which is completely covered by Maya, he does not have a chance of getting Krishna gyan, swata Krishna gyan. Jiver kripar koila Krishna Veda Puran. So therefore Krishna has, in order to bestow compassion and mercy upon the jivas, he has presented the Vedas and Puranas, so that through that he can understand and approach these subject matters which are transcendental to material mind and senses. Now, what are the contents of the scriptures? The wise man will understand that karma and jnana are secondary and worthless as independent processes, and that the path of bhakti is the essence. Right? So karma and jnana are secondary and worthless as independent processes. So when the path of karma and jnana does not have the element of bhakti, if bhakti is not there, then it is worthless. So independently, karma, the paths of karma and jnana are incapable of giving any result, and that the path of bhakti is the essence. Right? The Vedas stand as the authoritative guide and reference, pramana, and they prove 9 different topics which may be classified into Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Okay, so the contents of the scriptures he is going to describe now. So this is the Dashamula Tattva. Practically, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this Dashamula Tattva in every single book that he has written. He speaks about Dashamula Tattva. Right? So this is the essential conclusions of the Shastras. Okay. So what are these Dashamula Tattva? So the first principle is that the Vedic authority is the topmost authority. This is the first Tattva. For understanding transcendental subject matters, you have to accept the Vedic authority. We cannot trust our senses and mind. Then the Vedas talk about 9 topics. Okay. And when we understand these 9 topics, our ignorance is destroyed and transcendental knowledge is revealed. Right? So what are these topics? First is that there is one Supreme Lord, which is Vishnu. This is the first theme. Second is that this Lord is the possessor of all energies. He is Sarva Shaktiman. Okay. Third is that he is not just Sarva Shaktiman, but he is the fountainhead of all rasas and is situated in his dham where he eternally gives joy to the jivas. He is also Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the fountain head of all rasas. With him, you can have perfect reciprocation of any rasa in any mood, you know, either in Shantaras or Dasiras or Sakyaras or Vatsalyaras or Madhuryaras. The fourth principle is the jivas are particles of the Lord, unlimited in number, infinitesimal in size, but conscious. The nature of Jiva Tattva, the nature of the jivas, a description of that is the fourth principle. Fifth is the principle of the Nitya Baddha jivas who have turned their face away from Krishna and are eternally bound to this material world. This is the principle. And the sixth principle is about Nitya Siddha jivas who are always turned their face towards Krishna and are engaged in worshipping Krishna. And such people, such jivas reside in the spiritual realm, Vaikunta or Goloka Vrindavan. And the seventh principle is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Right? the Achintya Beda Betattva. Krishna and his energies, whether it is material energy or Jiva Shakti or Antaranga Shakti, it has a state of simultaneous oneness and difference from Krishna, right? And that is inconceivable, right? The energies are simultaneously different from and non-different from Krishna. So these 7 principles are Sambandha Gyan. And the 8th principle is Abhideya. Abhideya means that which is the direct recommendation of the Shastras. Okay. So there is a difference. Today also we were discussing this in our Chaitanya Shikshamrit class, same thing. So Abhideya comes from the word Abhidha. Abhidha means direct. So Abhideya means directly recommended process. This is Abhideya. Okay. So there is a difference between sadhana and Abhideya. Okay. So when it comes to sadhana, the Shastras talk about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. All these as various processes, means of attaining some goal. But when you directly ask the scriptures, tell me, what is the process that you will recommend? Directly tell me. So that is called as Abhideya. That is always Bhakti Yoga only. So the process specifically mentioned, Abhideya, for the Jiva in the Vedas is the 9-fold process of devotional service divided into Vaidhi and Raga Bhakti. Whether you may practice Vaidhi sadhana or Raganuga sadhana, but this Navada Bhakti is the Abhideya, the direct process, the process which is directly recommended by the Shastras. Of the 9 processes, hearing and chanting are the principal means. That is the reason chanting of Om is glorified in the Vedas. Okay, so this is 8th is about Abhideya, which is the process of attaining the goal of Krishna's lotus feet. And finally, the 9th is Prayojan. Prema is the Prayojan, right? And this is attained by mercy of Krishna. So now, this is what the scriptures and why we should follow scriptures and what are the contents of the scriptures that we have seen. So we have already crossed our stipulated time. So I will end here, and I will not take any questions right now because we have crossed the time. So you can come up with your questions and discussion points in the next discussion next Wednesday. But for now, we will pause here. And thank you all very much for your patient listening and your enthusiastic participation in the discussion. So we will continue this discussion next Wednesday. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Harinaam Chintamai ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.